Could you please state your first and last name for the record and spell both?
My name is Hannah Hilgendorf.
How old are you, Hannah?
I am 25 years old.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a nurse.
Did you know two people by the name of Bart and Krista Halderson?
Yes.
How'd you know them?
My mom was best friends with Krista growing up. She met Bart. They've been a huge part of our lives, our entire life.
In fact, you called them aunt and uncle?
Yes.
How did you learn that Bart and Krista were missing?
My sister came over to pick me up, and we were going to go shopping at Target, and we were hanging out, and then my parents called, and they were, talking to Haley, my sister. Haley is my twin sister, our only sister. I was in the car with her, and she just starts talking to my parents, well, I can't believe she hasn't answered yet, or another no call, no show to work. And I was like, what are you talking about? Why are mom and dad freaking out that Krista is not hanging out with them, And then she stops, she gets off the phone and she just tells me everything, oh, they've apparently been no calling, no showing to work, and she's not answering her phone. And the only person that my mother had spoken to was Chandler Halderson. And so, and my mother, well, that's the only person that she was getting a hold of at the time, trying to figure out what's going on, and he seemed to have known where they had went.
So based on learning that Bart and Krista were missing, what, if anything, did you decide to do?
So I decided we need to be here for Chandler. At this time, I didn't know anything about, much except for they were missing, and Mitchell and Chandler Halderson were we were really close to them growing up. So I said, man, Chaz is home all alone there, without them, this is so sad. And so we run inside, and we had just bought some food to cook, and we were going to go cook it at their house because we were let's just go over there now. Instead of cooking it here, we'll just go run there and say hello to him. And when we pull in the drive, I just remember there was the DAs were there, or detectives. I don't know what you guys are.
The police.
Yes.
But in plain clothes.
Okay. Yes, the police. I don't know what they really. Okay. I was whoa, this is crazy, what is going on? So we go inside, and yeah.
Hannah, had you been over to the 4595 Oak Spring Circle address in the past?
Yes.
Did the house look the same, different, or something else?
A bit different. So there were sheets on the couches, and then in the basement, I remember there was these couches pushed together with a blanket laying over the couch as to you could lay in that. Chandler had mentioned he was sleeping downstairs to one of the police, so he had just been sleeping in the basement with two couches. It's almost like a little fort looking thing that he built for himself, basically downstairs.
Did Chandler say anything to you, or did you overhear him saying anything about the sheets on the couch?
Yes, I heard him talking to the police, saying that, because he went to you guys and explained that his parents were missing, because talking to my parents really were very adamant that he went and reported this. And apparently, there was another police earlier that day before Sims and this other detective or police, and he went there, and apparently that other detective didn't like the dog hair on the couches, so he had placed sheets on the couches to protect him from sitting on dog hair.
So some other unknown police officer had asked Chandler to cover the couches?
Yes.
Because of dog hair?
Yes.
Did you observe anything about the fireplace that was unusual?
No, I didn't look at it. I walked past it, but it's my mind was just this is such a weird situation, and I want to not be here at all.
What do you mean when you say it was a weird situation?
Well, first off, the police are there, and I didn't know at all anything of this caliber could be possibly ever be going on, that I would ever experience this in my life. The feeling I received from Chandler was different to me than I normally feel from him. It's just weird.
Okay.
I gave him a hug right when I walked in, and it wasn't oh my God, good to see you, And I know that his parents were missing and stuff, but it was just he seemed different than he normally does. Not as, he's the more warmer one usually.
And he was less warm on this occasion?
Yes, I would say less warm.
Did he make any statements about his health or how he was feeling?
Well, yes. I guess I didn't know he had hurt his neck and stuff like that, prior to this. He had said something about a neck brace. And I know after the fact, talking to my mom about that he had fallen down his stairs. Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure. I asked if Chandler spoke to his health or how he was feeling.
Yes, okay, sorry, I get off the beaten path and then I'm like just telling you.
That's okay. I know you're incredibly nervous.
So, yes. So he had said he just, his head didn't feel right. He was explaining, he hadn't really gotten to eat all day and he hasn't gotten a lot of sleep and his head just really doesn't feel right, is what he had kept telling us.
Do you remember telling the detectives that he told you that his head is messed up?
Yeah, like he just didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. Something of that caliber, yes.
Was Chandler wearing a neck brace when you saw him on July 7th?
No.
How did you know about the neck brace?
I had, my mom had told me after the fact, I was like, this is just weird. Like, what in the heck is going on? Talking to my parents about this. And she said that he had fallen. I said there was something about that. And then my mom had mentioned what had happened prior.
Okay. Do you at some point that evening talk to Chandler about his parents being missing?
Yes. So, we sit down at the table and the detectives leave. I wanted to go with them, but
why?
Just a weird vibe, and this is just not somewhere. I just didn't feel very safe. Like I felt I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I'm sitting in the middle of what now seems to be a crime scene with somebody who is acting differently than I'm used to, and it just doesn't feel like a good idea.
What, if anything, did Chandler say about his parents being missing?
He said in the moment he told me, they're probably just at a casino.
What did you think of that comment?
There's no way. There's just no way that they are like just the sweetest, loving people you will ever meet. And there is no way that, they would have ever put anyone that they love or care about in a situation where they're worried about where they are. She's like, do you need a glass of water? Do you need this? Do you need that? Like very sweet, loving, like caring people. Anything that they can do for you, they're going to do it. And they would never make anybody worried about where they are. She is a very modest, very kind of shyer person and wouldn't be doing that.
Did Chandler say anything else about his parents being missing besides the casino comment?
Really, he just kind of questioned me, like, should he make a Facebook post?
Tell me about that.
Me and my sister went up and we're sitting at the main dining table in the upstairs, and he said, I don't know what to do now. Like, should I make a Facebook post? Like, right after the police had left. And I was thinking to myself, I wanted to say, duh. Like your parents are missing, it's almost feeling like you have to think about how to act. Like if your parents are missing, you go online, you tell everybody, you go to the police the day of, especially a no call, no show to work, they would have never done that. So to ask me what you should do now and should you make a Facebook post, like how should you go about this? It was just interesting.
Did Chandler make any comments to you about giving your phones to police?
Yeah, that's like the first thing we had discussed. So he said that if a cop ever asks you to take your phone, you do not need to give your phone to them because you can show them everything that they need without letting them mirror your phone. And that was like one of the first things that he had said to me. That's why I was like, I don't know. I was like, are you kidding me? Your parents are missing again. In my head, your parents are missing. You had apparently had contact with your parents, which I had learned later down the road talking to my mother after the fact. It's just another thing adding to the story of like, your parents are missing. Why don't you let them mirror your phone so we can figure out if you had tried to call them, if we could see the location on the phone or anything like that.
No further questions.
Cross-examination?
I have nothing, thank you.
May this witness be released and excused.
Yes.
Ms. Hilgendorf, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.